Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today I'm moving the bull mob and the steers, and the guys are so full that they can hardly move into the next paddock. We're giving them all they can eat, and they are packing it on. The winter hair coat's starting to come off on some of the older ones. The younger ones, they'll be the last ones to shed off their winter hair. Some of these calves are only 7, 8 months old, like this little guy here, these. But there's some 2-year-olds, a couple 3-year-olds, and we got one 4-year-old right there. But we're moving them twice a day, and it's going well. It's going well. They really are an easy group to handle. I think our bulls are probably one of the easiest. They just don't cause a lot of trouble. You know, you don't have to worry about the baby calves getting underneath the fence, or you don't have to worry about any of those kind of issues. These guys they just move and eat. That's what they do. They move to the next paddock and they eat. And as long as they have water, and we try and keep the mineral caught up with them, and they got plenty of grass. When you're a bull here at Green Pastures Farm, life is pretty darn good. Isn't that right, 437? He's starting to get his winter hair coat off. But I finally got the water tank. This is our first, I guess it'd be our first watering that we've done, except for off the corral. We have a hydrant up there, but our first quick cupper that we've used since we put it in. We put it in last winter. We caught a period there where it wasn't snowing. It was in the 40s. It's extremely dry though. I remember digging. Sasha dug most of this with a mini hoe, and he said, "Greg, I've done a lot of digging." He said, "I don't think I've ever got in anything any harder than this was." But you'd never know it today. We got 2.8 inches in the last 24 hours. The creeks are ripping. Actually lost a culvert on the road on a blacktop. Route F up by Harrisburg, it washed the culvert out of the blacktop. That's how much water was coming down that creek. It was I guess it was an older big culvert, but still that takes a lot of power to wash it out. I was going to show you my setup here. I just really can't improve on this. This is what I like right here. Got my foot pads. I got my Jobe Megaflow. I've got my 50-gallon tank. I've got those are 6-foot, 1-inch fiberglass rods drove in so the tank cannot be flipped over. And then I've got power right here. I've got 7,000 volts over the top of that float. Folks, that many bulls, there's 97 head in here. If they drink that down, the first thing they do is they start messing around with that float. Well, if they break your float off, now you got a full-time leak, massive leak. You would not believe the pressure I've got on this line. Well, it's 2-inch. This whole farm is 2-inch. Brian, the previous owner, put in 2-inch, and I just hooked on where he was with 2-inch and just brought it the rest of the way back. And I mean, we have got pressure. This water you see right here is actually coming out of this trench. So we got 2.8 inches. It's draining, it's coming down this trench. And this is where we stopped digging at right there. That's the end of the pipeline. So our goal is to hook on, we just ran out of time, but we're gonna hook onto that pipe and bring it on up that ridge another, I don't know, 600-700 feet, and put a coupler back over here. We can lock them in that corner and we can get a lot better graze. They won't have as far to walk, and that's gonna be closer to the new farm, the 300 acres over there. So we'll be able to just run a line across the top of the ground, plug in a coupler and have water. I'm gonna kill this just so I don't get shot. Folks, this fence is so hot. We did get an electric meter in now. We're not on solar anymore. This thing is pushing 9,700 volts this morning. So you got to be careful when you handle this thing. It'll knock you into next week. So I'm gonna take it off. There, it's cold. But you can see I protect my hose. That's a Flexzilla hose. It'll last you, I don't know, that one right there is probably 5 to 7 years old. It still looks like a new hose because I don't let cattle stomp on it all day. These are the little hoses we have made at the hydraulic shop. This black one, that's 250 PSI. And they put a really nice brass fitting on them for you. I mean, that's a really heavy duty fitting. I'm all I'm all about heavy duty because I've paid some water bills. I don't want to pay any more water bills. Okay. I'm not going to unplug this because, well, I guess I am making the video. I hate to do it. Well, I'm not going to. I'm just going to explain it. So what this is, folks, you're looking at, this is Schedule 80, and you can use Schedule 40. It's Schedule 80 3/4 inch PVC, and it's got a male threads sticking up this way. Male pipe threads, a glue fitting on this end. On the other end is my quick coupler. And here, I'm not gonna pull on that. That's my release. See, I can push down on this whole thing. I don't even have to stick my arm down in that water. Why is there water in that hole? Well, I just told you. It rained and the water's coming down this trench, and that's where it's gonna accumulate at. In the summer, without any rain, you're not gonna have any water in there. That's why we keep a cap on here, is to keep a possum or a snake from crawling down in there. Folks, I don't wanna reach down there in the dark and grab hold of a snake. And I don't care if it's a non-venomous snake. I don't like snakes. I sure don't want to be grabbing a hold of one. And I don't want a live possum down there snapping at my hand when I reach down in there. So always put a cap on these. These are 6-inch STR. It's a sewer pipe that comes in 14-foot lengths. And we cut them into, I think this one's 28, 29 inches. You can get a bunch of them out of 14 feet. And then we just put a 6-inch cap on them. That keeps them all nice and sealed up, keeps the dirt out when I'm not using them. Now, when I'm using them, you notice I've got me a little cager in here. I just hook on here, bring it back. And when I hook on here, it's hot. The bulls can't come in here and monkey with it. They will. They will. I've got this little circle right here. Does he come in my protective circle? There we go. That's just what they do. Bulls, they like monkeying with stuff, but if you put power around it, they're scared to death of that power. Okay, they are not gonna reach out and touch that. So I've got that gate open over there. There shouldn't be any power in here. Let me touch it real quick. Whew, okay. I had this temporary, my little mini reel, keeping them out of this little mud hole right here. This morning I came up here and they're all, I don't know what it is about mud and water, but they're like a bunch of little boys. They're all in there just having a great time. I'm like, no, you all don't need to be in there. So I just put a couple posts and hooked on my mini reel over here. Now I'm ready to power it back up. See, the reason I'm not getting shocked is because I've got the gate open over there. And I'm gonna wrap that one more time like this. Yep. Now when I close the gate over yonder, that's gonna power all this up. But I love that PVC piece. It's about 3 foot long. It allows you to stay up above ground. You don't stick your arm down the water. You just plug it in, and when you get done, just grab hold of that wire, and it releases it. So I'm going to show you. I've got one over here on the 4-wheeler because I know a lot of you are like, what is he talking about? Yeah, I'm going to show you. I've got one over here on the 4-wheeler. The piece that clicks in. Isn't that a nice, tidy setup though? Got me some boards on this side because it was a little bit downhill. Always carry some boards with me. You want to get it level. Okay. And I'll show you the male quick coupler. This is a Plasson. I love these. They work just like an air hose. So the minute you plug them in, you've got water. Just like an air hose. The minute you plug in an air hose, you've got air. So here it is. Okay, that wire you're looking at, I took an 1/8" bit and drilled a hole right to where my fingernail is. And so when I get ready to release that, that wire pulls back on that because the wire's hooked. Let me point at it. The wire is hooked right there. So when I pull on that, it pulls that up. This is your release, that hook. That hook is what's plugged into the female in my water line. Okay, this goes down in the female. It hits that hook and it clicks on. Of course, this goes to your garden hose. Instant, voila, you got water. And folks, that fitting over there, a Plasson female is, I think, $16. This piece right here is $5. You know what a good hydrant costs today? If I had to put a hydrant in everywhere I wanted water, about $180 to $200. That's just for the hydrant. That's not counting the plumbing that it takes to get it hooked up. And then you got a hydrant out here. What are you gonna do when the cattle get up against it? They're gonna be rubbing on that puppy. And now you've got a broken off hydrant. Now you gotta dig it up. The couplers are down in the ground. They can't rub on them. There's no access. They can't rub on the coupler. So it's really a win-win-win. I'm trying to catch up with the grass. I mean, it is just absolutely taken off just in the last 5 to 7 days. And you can see the hair's coming off of that bowl pretty good. This bull's neck, his neck's starting to get cleaner. To the younger ones are always going to be a little hairier later. Oh, I bet you all are not liking this wind. I'll turn the other way. But I actually got the new farm, got our first paddock started today, and it's a little bit wet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to graze this hillside over here for a couple of days and wait for that newly leased farm to dry up just a little bit. And then I'm going to take him in there. But it's got some really good grass waiting on us down there, and I think the bull mob is going to be quite happy going into that area. So they worked this over pretty good. They were on this for half a day. I mean, they took it down. There's still good residual left, though. It's going to grow back fast. We don't, we like to leave some behind. We don't take it all the way to the ground. And there's different schools of thought. Everybody tries something different. And you know what? If it works at your farm, just go for it. I'm not going to get in a he said, she said, you said argument match over which way you should be grazing. If it works on your farm and you're making money and you're happy, by golly, you just keep doing it that way. Don't let other people influence what you're doing, okay? We like to graze the top third and move, and it works for us, and that's what we do. So we've been doing it for 27 years, almost, right at a third of a century, and we're not only in business, we're growing, we're expanding, and it seems like things just get better every year. So it works in Central Missouri. Do what you got to do at your place and just have fun. At the end of the day, like Ian said, if you're not having fun doing what you're doing, you need to change. You need to change what you're doing and go do something else. So anyway, we are so fortunate to live where we live. We live in a land of abundance. You hear a lot of doom and gloom about the world and all that. Don't listen to all those naysayers. It's all designed to take you down. Stay focused on what you can control. And you can control yourself, and you can control your attitude. And as long as you focus on those two things, you're going to be just fine. Don't listen to the naysayers. They want company. The doomsday people, they want company. They want your company, and don't give it to them. Just don't give it to them. Don't hang around people like that. Just get out of Dodge, man. Get out and do something productive. And you start doing enough things productive every single day of your life, pretty soon people say, well, you're lucky, you're lucky, you're lucky. No, you're not lucky. You made your own luck because you refused to say, I can't do it. Don't let anybody tell you that. Oh, I can't do it. That's a defeatist attitude. You absolutely can do it. So I'm out of here. Be seeing some of y'all at the grading school. It's coming up here, and heck, it's coming up next week. And we still got a few seats available at the advanced school. That's May 7th through the 9th. And you can sign up at greenpasturesfarm.net. And then we have the beginners grading school the very next week, the 15th and the 16th. Y'all have a good one, and we'll be seeing some of y'all real soon.